This is some freaking straight bull honky.
Some dang butt.
I would rather get my pizza on Friday than do this podcast again. Oh, wait, I am.
So anyway,
it's season 2.
Today's Thursday, right? Yeah. Yes, it is.
So
Tuesday, I almost quit my job. And then Wednesday, I'll get like Starbucks on my way to work, and because I'm basic.
You're basic like that?
Yeah. And so I'll order on the app and I'll set it, so I'll just go pick it up inside, and it's literally a block away from where I work. And so I get there like 10 minutes before I have to start, and there's a sign on the door that says they're understaffed and the cafe's closed, so you have to go through drive-thru. And the drive-thru line is literally like 14 cars deep. And so I'm sitting there like at the front door like Eric Andre, like, let me in, because I can see my order right there. And so I had to text my boss and be like, I'm going to be late because this happened and I already paid, and I'm not going to pay $10 and then not get my stuff for breakfast. And I ended up taking me like 20 minutes to get through the drive-thru. And then by the time I got there, my drink was half melted because it was a Frappuccino. So that was fun. And my breakfast sandwich was cold, so I just put it in the fridge when I got to work. So that was fun.
That's Starbucks quality. If we did that at McDonald's, you bet your butt, little Miss Karen whatever Smith would be walking right into the store throwing the food at us if it was cold.
Yeah. Which, like, it wouldn't have been cold if you guys would just let me come in and grab my order that's sitting on the pickup counter.
Yeah,
like,
I don't...
You could just tell people, hey, we're not doing orders inside, just let me grab my stuff and go.
Or you could, I mean, at least you didn't order the food the night before thinking you'd get it that night and then have to wait until the next day at 11:15 a.m. Was that what time you said the quoted arrival time for your pizza would be, Davey? He's sad.
All right, good answer.
Good answer. Real quick for all the folks listening, so behind the scenes, I get yelled at for not starting the recording early enough. And then I start the recording, and Mr. Hazard clams up. Ding, ding. How you doing, Davey?
I'm sad. I'm hungry. I'm still cold.
Yeah.
My car is broken. I tried to order food, but they didn't tell me that it wasn't going to be ready tonight. It was going to be ready tomorrow at 11:15 a.m. And I'm just a broken man. But I have to be okay because I might hurt people's feelings if I'm sad.
Dude, we got like both sides of it because Davey's broken emotionally and I'm broken physically right now. So
yeah.
So I ran my first BMX race in a month and then woke up at 1 a.m. with back spasms, and I just didn't go to work today because of that. So it's been an eventful couple days.
My car broke down on New Year's Day. The football team lost in the college football playoff.
Yeah.
And my school president literally said, I don't care if anyone gets sick, I just hope no one dies. So
oh boy.
So if you were wondering how we were doing in the podcast off season, worse.
Things have gotten exponentially worse. The Fake Racers podcast.
Yes, it has.
If we're still your favorites, don't know why.
I did win a BMX race though, so that was kind of cool.
No, you didn't. You finished 3rd out of 3.
No, that's a different one.
No.
This one's not hot pink with glitter all over it.
I thought it was.
It's look
at you.
I can't tell
You
if
and
it's
your
upside
participation
down or not,
trophies.
First win since 2010, says it right there.
Wow.
Win number 10 in my BMX career.
First win since you were 15.
Yep.
I got it right.
So.
I'm so proud of myself.
Or actually, I think I might have been 14. It was the year I turned 15.
You still would have been. You were an adolescent.
Yeah.
First win since you were an adolescent.
Almost half of my life ago. So.
Sad. We got Bristol in the background. You can't see him because he's like sleeping up here now instead of the end of the bed. It's weird. I'm good with it. But this is season 2 of the Fake Racers podcast with me, Joe.
Me, Davey.
Me, Matthew.
And
we're really happy to be here.
We're so excited.
Oh, I could have said Mimi Big Boy. Missed opportunity there.
We're so happy you're joining us here for season 2. Now on JTN 2. A lot of twos.
Yeah.
2022.
I know, dude.
We're on JTN 2.
I'm too freaking hungry.
Hopefully you've made the transition with us over the JTN 2.
I have a real microphone, by the way. I have a real one. Did you see that?
Or you're still listening to us on your favorite podcast platform. I'm just going to keep talking. Be a friend, tell a friend about our podcast, about our show, about our YouTube channels, Again, still all the live racing content on main JTN, and JTN2 is going to be your home for this podcast. The podcast
essays.
Yeah, video essays. The podcast that Matt has been talking about doing for a month and still has not started and has not done his actual podcast in how many weeks? 2, 3?
We'll do it.
I was actually going to, at the end of this episode, say that we were going to... Yes.
Well, now announce it now.
Yeah, we're trying for Sunday, right?
Yes. Going to try to record this Sunday. So, watch for that.
Exactly. So, Joe, get off your freaking high horse, you freaking stinky butt. I wonder what's going to happen to the pizza when it gets here, because I'm going to be at work, and I'm not going to be able to get the pizza. So, it's just going to be pizza on my porch.
These are the great questions of...
It's probably going to get eaten by, like, a raccoon or something.
Hey,
God, you know how sick that would be?
I have a rat in my kitchen, or mouse.
God!
I heard it like going around crazy, and like because it was behind the stove and I saw it on the stove the other day, which was kind of creepy because like there's poop all over the stove. That's not fun or sanitary. And I heard it like because the exterminator came and put down glue traps, and I heard it like all around. So I moved the stove back because I was like, oh, it's on the glue trap, and I moved it back, and the glue trap is like halfway underneath the stove and exposed, and then so I'm kind of worried that I might have squished the poor guy, but...
Oh my gosh. You monster.
I know.
You monster frisbee.
Teaches you for scaring Bristol. And me, kind of, because I get jump scared a lot. But,
oh my gosh.
Matt, last thing before we actually start. You sounded like you had one more thing.
Oh, I was just going to say I found a dead rat under my house yesterday, so... That was fun, because we were talking about dead rodents.
We're pretty emo here, honestly.
Yeah. Dude, I'm wearing a My Chemical Romance hoodie. Of course I'm getting emo. So
Davey just wants to order some food. And
I'm trying to order food, and I never get Whataburger. I think Whataburger is awful, but I'm like, you know what? I could go for an absolutely terrible burger right now. And I don't get anything on my burger. I don't get any toppings at all. And I'm looking at the toppings section. It's like tomato, lettuce, pickles, diced onions, grilled onions. I don't want any of those. It's required that I pick one. What do you mean it's required?
Just pick like lettuce and then take it off when it gets there.
That's awful.
Lettuce doesn't taste like anything.
It's freaking Whataburger lettuce. It's gonna be like cold and wet. Like I've been cold and wet for like 4 hours. I'm done being cold and wet, dude. Like what the hell?
I'm just saying, pick the one that's easiest to take off.
It's easier to take out my stomach. I don't know what that means.
All right. On that note. It has been an off-season full of fun events like next-gen testing. NASCAR has streamed a lot of the testing, which was pretty cool. There was a next-gen test before the season ended. There has been one since at Charlotte, where we got the confirmation that we're going to go with a smaller spoiler and a little more horsepower, which I know everyone's so excited for because there's a couple videos out there with lift-off time in the corners, which is great, wonderful.
Mm-hmm. Awesome, perfect, amazing.
I raised the point that Goodyear should actually build tires that degrade, but I digress. Thoughts?
A good point.
We like that, right? Like, I don't think anyone's crying about not having super speedway racing at 1.5 miles.
I saw a lot of drivers that were like kind of complaining about how hard it was to drive, and I'm like, you know,
this is the problem we had.
Oh no, you're gonna spin out! Oh yeah, people are gonna spin out. The car is like totally different. Like it's gonna happen. You're gonna figure it out. Like relax, it's fine.
Yeah,
it's like cars spinning out early in testing. I feel like that's like obviously we don't want to wreck race cars or hurt anybody, but it's pretty normal. I feel like it's fun.
And
not to mention that the Cup field has been driving cars that drive like slot cars for like half a decade now.
Woo! He's spitting.
I'm not saying it's like a criticism of drivers, but you get used to. Anyway, you get used to a car reacting a certain way, and then it's like, oh my god, I can't just like lean on the right rear going into the corner now.
Yeah.
So.
And we know everything about how to drive race cars, of course, because we're fake racers.
That's what I do here.
Yeah, it's from the sounds of it, the smaller sidewall kind of makes it so the drivers can't feel the car spinning out, which isn't a bad thing. I don't think it's a great thing because you still want to see drivers able to control their cars and stuff. But lift off time is good. Off throttle, on throttle, tire wear. is good. The main reason though that they've kind of cut the spoiler away and stuff is they had to add the NACA duct or the duct into the windshield and the slits into the rear windshield to help cool the inside of the car because running split exhaust out of each side was not a good idea in terms of trying to keep heat away from the drivers. So yeah, I don't know.
We'll
as
see.
long as it does good racing, right? All we care about.
Exactly.
Race good.
Exactly. I agree.
Not a lot there. This is gonna be a quick episode. I have a feeling.
Once I order my food, I will be so invested into this episode. I'll make it an hour and 20. I swear.
He'll be so invested, and then the food will get there, and he'll be eating the food.
I'll make it an hour and 20. On the dot, Dad.
We're gonna get the full 3 arc story of Davey ordering food. So you have the initial conflict, and then you have the racing of the stakes, which is him ordering. Which I mean, that could be a pun if you want to look at it that way. And then you have the resolution of the hero prevailing when he actually gets his food. So.
And then there's gonna be the twist of fate at the end where they put condiments on my burger and I don't want any.
That's the post-credit scene. So
I love it. There should be a video in and of itself.
Atlanta had
video essays.
Atlanta had a closed test. Got some videos out of it. I think Roush posted a video of Chris Buescher's on board, which is pretty cool. Go check it out. They're using the super speedway package there, unsurprisingly. They made it into a super speedway with the banking. I'm not angry about that at all. It just sucks that we're racing there twice if that's the way the track's going to be, because 6 super speedways as compared to 4 is a lot.
Yeah. Yeah. I will say I'm very happy that when they were testing the different packages and they had the 500 horsepower one with a big spoiler and then I think it's 670 with the smaller one, and you had a dozen different drivers all on Twitter saying they liked the more horsepower package, and then that's what NASCAR went with. Makes me very, very happy. So
if we circle back to that too, it sounds like a lot of NASCAR's hesitance towards going towards more horsepower came from OEMs, which David Wilson at Toyota said he's not on board with that, but I don't know how much I necessarily buy that. The OEMs just want less horsepower, so that way when they're developing a new engine, it's closer to what they have in their production cars, which is great, right? It's win on Sunday, sell on Monday mentality, but I know they kept, and the problem is they kept saying it was a fan council thing. Doubt it was at this point, right?
Yeah.
I think he did have a state of the sport at Jets. Yeah, it's a vocal minority. It's I agreed with that. Minority of people being
my
vocal.
Freaking butt.
Yeah.
But yeah,
it's merely a coincidence that Toyota had a ton of motor or engine failures in 2014, and then in 2015 is when the tapered spacer first showed up. Definitely a fan council thing.
Weird. Really weird.
Toyota runs NASCAR? What?
Yeah. Who would have ever thought that?
What?
But yeah, that's pretty much what we got out of it. We didn't get really too much out of Atlanta. That'll be an interesting race in the spring. And then, of course, the last 2 days we had Daytona testing, which very fun. Drafting, they finalized that super speedway package, of course. I know Davey. Or did you guys get a chance to watch any of it? Or was I the only one? I guess you probably were both working.
I was at work.
I had it on. Unfortunately, I only caught the single car stuff live. I saw clips of the pack racing, so I didn't really get to see its intricacies that much. But Joe, I'm sure you saw it. Could you speak on that for us?
I could. There's a couple things. It seems like the runs, Dale Jr. talked about it too, but it seemed like you could hold on to a run a little bit longer. You could still generate a run pretty quickly too, which I think is probably going to be a good happy balance instead of what we saw last year with getting a big run out of nowhere. Look at the last lap of the 500. Not necessarily out of nowhere, but you know how to game it, right?
Yeah.
Being able to hold on to a run, I think, will help with kind of super speedways. It looked like the Fords yesterday, too. Blaney and Cindric were working on tandeming, and they could do it. So that'll be interesting to see how that works out. I I know the Ford's probably the flattest nose out of the 3 cars, so whatever that means in terms of being able to bump like that. The big thing I noticed, though, there was the session, I think it was the day drafting session on Tuesday. Joey Logano and Austin Cindric and stuff, the Penske guys were being aggressive and stuff like they are. And the moves, how quick they could make the moves, it was visibly different. When a guy would make one of those real quick out of line moves, it still, you could still see the delay in the response of the steering system. You could really tell the difference. I mean, it was with milliseconds that he was out of line and passing the guy. I think that steering is definitely going to be a big, big deal once we get to Speed Weeks in terms of drivers being able to make moves a lot quicker. And will probably lead to more passes for the lead, and it didn't look like necessarily you needed someone to push you if you had enough of a run, which is another welcome sight.
Yeah, that was one of the things I noticed from watching one of the highlights of testing is there's a lot more movement around in the pack instead of just a bunch of cars kind of just gridding up and just waiting for a push.
Which could be a product of its testing, and my philosophy with that type of stuff would always be to do as much as I can to learn as much as I can. I think there's the pictures of the Petty team on Wednesday with the car crab walking, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I think, and it's like way more than they're legally allowed to have as well.
There's no way. It's a 0.3 degree tolerance.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was like more than 3.
It was like 30.
Point.
From what I heard from a couple, like not crew chiefs, but a couple guys who are on like Xfinity teams, is they're just throwing stuff at the wall to see like, okay, if we put this much skew in and it works, then a tiny bit of skew is probably also going to work.
Yeah, so like you can kind of start to make a predictive model with the car, right?
Yeah.
If I get this extreme data point, I get this extreme data point, and I get a couple in between. Okay, what's the correlation between the angle, the skew angle, and my lap time, or something like that, and see how that model is. Because if it's something where it's exponential, there's going to be a really good sweet spot. If it's more linear, you're kind of you'll probably be towards the lap time end of it, but it's all about trying to make models for these cars right now, because iRacing probably did a decent job of modeling the car despite what everyone says without actually seeing the dang thing race. But you can never beat real world testing, and don't forget too, these manufacturers, their sims are so advanced beyond iRacing. Like, don't think that that's what they're using. They have pretty advanced sims that are really cool stuff. So
that reminds me of everybody plays NR and they use the Jasper setups, and they're like, oh, no wonder Jasper was so bad in NASCAR.
Yeah, that's not how that works, unfortunately.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Big takeaway: we're gonna be able to make movers throughout the field. I do worry about this race looking like 2013 in the sense that there's probably gonna be some drivers and teams that are gonna be a little more timid with making moves, just because of the product that doesn't the stock or the inventory that these teams have of these cars still isn't that much.
Yeah.
I think each car number gets 6 cars, I think is what it is. So,
I think that's the number.
What are they going to do with the Daytona 500 winning car?
So you go ahead.
Just came out about that.
No, you probably know more than I do. So
I was going to say, they're still trying to make a decision on that, because it would be taking a car away from a team for the year. Because NASCAR would have to give them a exemption, I'm assuming, to have a 7th car for that team.
Right.
A team usually gets $100,000, and the car is not $100,000. The car is a lot more money than that.
Yeah.
For it to be there for the year, but I mean, I hope the tradition stays, right? I think we all do, but would not be surprised if that goes away after this year. Put the Xfinity winner in there. Everyone says the Xfinity series is the best series anyways. Just take the Xfinity winner car. I'm sure that team could use the $100,000.
That's not a bad idea, honestly.
Just if they take it away, they take it away. I'm sure you can find you can get an Earnhardt car to put in there in that exhibit, and people go to it. You know what I mean? Or you can get some old 500 cars because a lot of teams keep those cars intact. So
Yeah.
yeah, I don't know. Michael McDowell's 34 Loves Travel Center Ford Mustang will be in there forever.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
forever.
sad. That's really sad. But yeah, that's all that. I mean,
Next
Oh.
gen testing, baby. It's
Next
real.
gen-
It's happening.
it didn't seem like we were gonna make it here this time last year, but we
There's
had a
quite
next.
a few moments where we were like, "Oh no!"
Oh no!
Was it
Is
June?
the car gonna be ready? Oh no! Are the drivers gonna die?
Yeah.
I still worry. Some of the stuff Steve Tart talked about, with the impact foam on the front and rear clips to help with the crush zones, but the cars are still pretty rigid. It sounds like,
Mhm.
so I still worry.
Right.
Yeah.
But that rigidity, I don't know.
Rigidity.
Rigidity.
Thank you. That would help with like those incidents, like Ryan Newman's incident, right? The car wouldn't crush. It wouldn't crush like that. So,
Yeah.
but it's a balancing game, right? Do I want the car to crush? Do I want it to absorb energy? You can't have both. The car can
There's
either
a-
crush or it can take the energy and
There's a-
stay.
There's a really cool picture I saw of the MBM car, this 66 Carl Long's car, where they had it all taken apart in the shop and they had the whole rear clip taken off, and you could see just how beefy all the box tubes for the whole rear end are.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Really
and
interesting.
that's the whole point of these cars, right? To be reusable. So that's why they kind of go towards that, be a little more rigid. I always worry about crashes. I always worry about crashes. So
Honestly, you might see, because of the modular design of the chassis like that, how the rear clip is like its own thing.
Mhm.
Have you ever seen when an open wheel car wrecks so hard that the whole engine breaks off, basically, and the whole chassis breaks in half? You might even see something like that if something
Yeah.
like ridiculous happens.
Yeah.
So
let's hope not. Let's hope that
Yeah,
all 40
hopefully
cars
not,
finish the Daytona 500,
yeah.
and all the people that clamor for wrecks every year are disappointed after the race. That's what I always
As
hope.
As long as nobody hits the catch fence this year, like I'll be stoked.
As long as no one's in a ball of fire at some
Yeah.
point. That was
Fire.
that was terrified last year. I was terrified. Thought the dude was dead. And he threw his helmet at the car.
Yeah.
Great.
That's what I loved about like how safe like stock cars have gotten. It's like you can have a ridiculous crash like that. And everybody's like, "Are you alive?" And he's like, "No, but I'm pissed."
I'm mad.
Didn't even have time to be like, "Man, I can't believe I just walked away from that."
No, I just madder than hell, like immediately.
But so yeah, that was next gen testing. There's been a lot of off-season storylines. Let's start with, I don't know if it's the biggest one per se, but it's definitely a big one here in the last week. Eric Almirola announces that he will be retiring at season's end. Smithfield signs on for one additional year with Stewart Haas Racing, be their anchor sponsor. Before we talk about what Davey wants to talk about, Matt, Eric Almirola retiring. I mean, I none of us are Eric Almirola fans, I don't think, but
Nah.
in fact, I'm pretty
I
sure
mean-
you guys said some not too tasteful things about him being in the playoffs last year despite winning a race.
Yeah.
You gosh
No.
darn right we did, Joe. Let me tell you, that Eric Almirola, what a schmuck. But you know who isn't a schmuck?
No,
I'll
no,
wait.
no, no, no.
I'll-
I think Almirola's career is a lot of what ifs, right? What if he
Yeah.
wins at Kansas in 2012 for Petty? What if, doesn't get involved in that crash in 2017 while at Petty that takes him out for a couple of races? You know, what happens to Bubba Wallace at that point?
Mm.
And the like. And there's been a couple. He's had his obviously flashes in the pan at Stewart Haas Racing, 2 wins now, but just never met the expectations. Maybe is the right way to say it, even if those expectations maybe were a little too much.
Yeah, I feel like his 2018 season kind of set his stock a little too high because he got to SHR and nearly won a bunch of races and nearly made the Final Four, and we're like, "Oh my god, he's been like this diamond in the rough the whole time." And it's like, no, he's just Eric Almirola still.
Yeah,
So-
I think that season was the exception, not the rule.
Yeah.
He's always been the guy kind of playing catch up with his teammates since he's joined SHR, more or less. I mean, even that year, like he was, like,
He was their
they were-
third best guy still.
Yeah, exactly. And
Maybe second,
know,
but yeah.
I know there are Eric Almirola fans who are going to be upset. The loss of Smithfield, more than likely, considering Smithfield's like Eric Almirola, like they're not Storehouse, they're Eric Almirola.
Yeah.
That might be a thing, but I mean, I'm just listen. My opinion, meh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I hope he doesn't have like a bad season. I hope he has a fine season, but
Don't care one way or the other.
don't care.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think it's cool that he got his chance with a really good team.
Mhm.
Performed okay. You know, it would have sucked to see him run in petty stuff for his entire career and be like, oh my god, what if he got his chance? He got his chance, he was all right.
And I think, because it's the Kevin Harvick effect, right? Kevin Harvick has been so good at Stewart-Haas racing.
Yeah.
Because he's Kevin Harvick, he also has one of the best crew chiefs in the garage area. I mean, that team is set up for success compared to almost every other team in the garage. But Almirola has substantially improved the running of that 10 car since he joined it, and I think at the end of the day, that's all you want out of a driver is that when they exit the car, whenever they exit it, the performance is better. And that's why you see drivers get let go and not able to retire, i.e. Ryan Newman.
Yeah.
Right, and Newman's a whole different what-if situation. So that's, I think, people are going to be, oh, you're going to roll. He was mid. He was okay, not great. But he improved his car, he improved his team over his duration at the team, so that should be enough to say it was a success, in my opinion.
Eric Almirola is, Joe, you may know what I'm talking about here. He's NASCAR's Dalton scale.
Mm-hmm.
For you football fans out there, Andy Dalton, the NFL quarterback, he is the exact average quarterback. If you're better than Andy Dalton, you're good, and if you're worse than him, you're bad. That's Eric Almirola. Eric is the measuring stick for every other driver in NASCAR. If you're on better than him, hey, you're doing good. Well, if you're running below Eric,
yeah, that's not too inaccurate. I can agree with that.
There are a lot of people that were really good last year.
Yeah, it was before him. It was Paul Menard. Now it's the Almirola scale. So,
yeah,
there you go.
Good. Speaking of SHR, Davey.
Yes.
I know you really like this story, so I'll let you introduce it.
Okay. So, honestly, the Eric Almirola news was in lieu of or after the news of the. What's the technical name for the role? Is he a test driver? Is he a backup driver? Reserve driver, I guess.
Reserve driver is what they called him.
Ryan Preece, SHR reserve driver this season. He's getting so many races in Trucks Xfinity Cup. A Cup, I'm assuming we're
Cup
all
right
assuming
now
is going to be home.
I was gonna say Cup right now. They said 2. I think it's Dover and the Coke 600.
Yeah. Oh my god, I'm gonna get to see him race the Coke 600. Yeah, but I guess where prepared cars, or not where, but where
Fielded.
cars prepared by Stewart-Haas. Yeah, where fielded Stewart-Haas prepared cars in Cup. I don't really know Xfinity. I guess Haas. I guess technically, right? Yeah.
No, I believe it's gonna be affiliated car, so probably with SS Greenlight now.
Or
okay.
I don't think
deal
it'll
they
be
had
BJ McLeod's team. I know that's what everyone says, but I don't think it will be.
Yeah. And obviously DGR and trucks. Then.
Yeah.
But as a Ryan Preece fan, I'm quite excited about this. And not to like celebrate a driver retiring, I think that's tacky, but woo! Eric Almirola's retiring. It's gonna be Ryan Preece's seat, baby. Yeah. Okay.
Along with their sponsorship.
Shut.
I will say, I believe it was about 6 months ago. I said this is when I thought Eric was going to get fired after last year before he won. That either Ricky Stenhouse or Ryan Preece was going to replace him in the 10. I'm only a year off on that. So,
yeah,
I mean, again, this is all speculation, but probably
it makes it. You'll have to go back and find that and clip it.
Yeah, it's a lot of work.
Well, yeah,
I don't even know if I said it on the show. I might have just said it in Discord.
Even easier to find then.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think this is. I mean, Reese is managed by Kevin Harvick's group. That was why he was in the DGR truck last year for that race.
Yeah.
So this isn't anything that I think is too shocking. For him to be going in some type of technical related role at Stewart Haas Racing. Also sounds like this will probably open up his modified schedule. He can run mods as much as he wants, and he'll probably be in more truck races than we assumed with the way that TGR's truck lineup is. Still haven't seen too much out of the Gray brothers, but
and like really like a career move, kind of like this is like
what Alex Bowman
the
did.
move. Yeah. And, it's not like Alex Bowman's coming in. He's just going to be the guy just in case. Like, I guess with Bowman, it was like already confirmed Dale was probably going to leave, or like he probably already knew. But regardless, like, it's more or less like.
Not as high profile.
Yeah. Yes. As long as like the sponsorship is there, which there's a year to secure sponsorship for this car, it's looking good.
Which SHR,
it's obviously set up that way for that to happen. So obviously I am hoping that happens, but be interesting to see.
Yeah. So, and we all know that Stewart Haas is really good at pulling in sponsors. So
I was gonna say they took what they got Gear Wrench since Ganassi closed down. Mahindra with Briscoe. I think that's gonna be their anchor partner on that car. So
can I have a small technical question? Why is it called Anchor?
Most of the races.
Most of the races. Why was it not primary? Why is it not primary anymore?
I think because primary sponsorship might be like, oh, you have the primary for the race.
That makes sense. I noticed the terminology changed somewhere while I was doing off-season stuff, so I I don't know what happened.
I think it's something to do with how you used to see like Fast and All would run the B2Bs on the car along with it. So I think it might be something like that too. So like Mahindra is the main brand, and then they'll have some Mahindra affiliates on the car as well, or something like that.
Good enough explanation for me. I was just curious.
It's the same thing with Smithfield too, right? They had like Meyer when they ran up here at Michigan. Yeah. They'll have, I think it's Farmer John when they go to, like for the Clash. It looks like, but a team that pseudo expanded. Petty GMS Motorsports. GMS buys the two Petty charters. Rich Petty's like the, I don't know, CEO, some title, but he's still with the team, so it's still marketable that way.
He's essentially like the Queen of England. How he's just kind of like a figurehead at this point. Like it just looks good to have him there.
Yeah. So,
which I agree it does.
So the Medallion Financial Group sold off their portion of Petty. Petty, of course, got stopped the partnership with Rick Ware, which was one of the Rick Ware charters, which everyone was freaking out about Rick Ware having 4 charters. They never had 4 charters. They just kind of had one of Petty's because Petty didn't want to field the car.
Yeah. Did you see that Medallion got into legal trouble right after they sold the whole Petty Enterprises?
That's awesome. I love it.
The stake in the team.
God, I love it.
It's almost like they were like, "Oh, this is gonna be bad. Let's just get rid of the team now and
almost like
while we can,
right?
While it's still worth something."
Oh shit.
So yeah, that I don't think I'm not. It's okay. I didn't hear it.
I'm not buying a diecast this season.
I didn't hear it.
Spent a lot of money on diecast that's about to come out of my account this year.
Did somebody swear?
I did.
Oh,
I didn't. He's okay.
I was like, did I mess up there? Whoops.
I didn't hear him.
I didn't swear.
That's fine. Anyways, so yeah, you have that whole thing going on. As an Eric Jones fan, I'm pretty happy they also get a anchor sponsor with that focus factor. Again, it kind of not going to call a sponsor Snake Oil, but I don't know. I'm just happy that they got money. We had a couple of situations in the offseason. Yeah, so that's cool. Ty Dillon's going to run the 42. They originally announced that he was going to run the 94. They swapped the number to 42 to kind of keep with that Petty. I think that's the main reason for keeping the Petty name, of course, is to keep first the number 43, and then also the
Yeah.
marketability of the team, right? So,
Mhm.
it's a lot easier to sell Richard Petty than Eric Jones and Ty Dillon.
Yeah. Wait, you guys don't like Spencer Gallagher?
Wouldn't be surprised to see Allegiant on
Mm.
on Dillon's car for some races. They haven't really announced any sponsorship for him, which is troubling. Have to think that the 43 is pretty much sold out from Air Force. Air Force, the Focus Factor, and then probably some All STP Energizer brands.
Yeah.
On that car at some point this year. But yeah, so still waiting on word for Ty Dillon sponsorship. Colleague is gonna have an all-star car, and then Justin Haley's gonna be in the 31. All-star car gonna consist of Noah Gragson getting the majority of the races at 14. And he's also, I believe, gonna be in the 62 for the super speedways. And then Hemrick and Allmendinger are gonna run the other races. Allmendinger's running the Clash because every chartered team has to run in the Clash. I think Hemrick will probably run the 500 since he was down there testing with them.
Yeah, more than likely.
Also cool.
You know, Hemrick should probably be the one getting most of the races since, you know, he has Cup experience and is Xfinity Series champion. Don't want to let you forget that. Do you guys even care about this? The energy right now. The vibe.
It's cool.
All-time
I'm
low.
not...
Colleague! Yeah, I'm excited for Colleague in the Cup Series. Genuinely, I it's already kind of been discussed, so like the energy that I have for that is like kind of gone. But like I'm super excited for Colleague in the Cup Series. I love Matt Colleague. I love the Colleague race team. I'm excited to hopefully buy some of their merch at the tracks this season.
They have a hauler going.
Please bring a hauler if you're like JTG. I'm gonna rip your throat out. Yeah, I think
it
it's
costs
cool
money,
as hell.
man.
Yeah,
I know it does.
I'm pumped for a new team. I'm just not excited about Noah Gragson in a Cup car. So,
I'm not either, but I'm still happy for Matt Colleague.
Yeah,
I wasn't happy when Elio Castroneves won the 500, but I was happy for Mike Schenk. All right, let me have it.
Necessary evil. Yeah.
Exactly. You're dang right.
All right, let me take Davey's
incredibly accurate.
Mood down a little bit. Lanny Castle was also brought on board with the 10 car and Voyager. More crypto sponsorship.
I still love in the USRL Discord. I went back. I checked the reactions to Landon Castle getting the 4 ride. I checked. I saw people saying, "Oh, he's going to compete for top 10s, top 5s. He's going to get in the playoffs, maybe even fight for like a round of 8 spot." Oh my god, dude, y'all suck. Oh my god, you guys suck. Holy crap. So does Landon Castle. Love the guy. He sucks. And he will he's in a Colleague ride. I'll give him the benefit of the doubt. He'll get a couple top 10s.
Yeah,
that's about it.
I'm happy for Landon Castle to get a ride. I think he's okay.
He's okay. He's just fine.
I hope he can elevate and, you know, justify getting this ride. I'm not going to call him a pay driver like everybody on Twitter wanted to. But.
Yeah, I'm not going to call him a pay driver. I think that's ridiculous. I think Landon Castle is a talented race car driver. I don't think he's as good as people make him out to be. I think he's totally average, middle of the road. Will do fine in that car, but he's not going to be the guy competing for round of 8. I don't think he's going to compete for round of 8 in the playoffs. Will he get in the playoffs? Maybe. I think he's going to be on the bubble when it comes time for the cutoff. So, yeah, I love the guy. Landon Castle is like so sick. As a race car driver, I see all this hype around him from people who love those lower tier drivers, and it's like you chose to attach yourself to like the least talented one.
Fair enough.
That was mean. I don't think he's the least talented one. I just wanted to stick it to the people who always tell me to shut up when I talk about Landon Castle.
Davey's angry because Parker Klingerman was rumored for that.
Yeah,
ride,
I was going to say
the RCR car.
It's a little personal right now.
It's a little. A little. That's
personal.
funny. It's all personal. It's all personal.
But excited to see what Colleague does. You know, coming off the Brickyard win last year too, and
agreed.
That was fun. So RFK Racing got unveiled. I think we all knew that was going to be the name.
Robert F. Kennedy Racing.
God, I love Robert. Damn it! Can't get the joke in. Park Clinton can't get the ride. God. I have nothing.
What do we think
I'm
of the
not allowed
rebrand?
to have anything.
Do we like the rebrand? Do we not like?
I think it looks cool. I like the 6 font. I think it's gonna make Roush cool again. I feel like
I
Rush
hope
was
so.
really I
Dude,
think Rush was really uncool for a few years there.
Yeah. Their Twitter page has been memeing it up, so.
I
Well, I think
know, dude.
Elijah Burke
Shout
is
out-
running it. Right?
Shout out to the meme war between them and Front Row Motorsports Twitter.
Dude.
Specifically when Roush OO'd them and Front Row ooh-wooed back, so.
Yeah, I like the rebrand. I think it looks cool. Roush Fenway has been like the classic Ford team. We are a Ford team. That is what Roush Fenway is. We are Ford.
Go
Roush
It's like
Dodge.
is Ford,
McLaren
Jack
before
Roush is
Zach
Ford.
Brown bought them, and they're like, all of our cars are going to be black and chrome, and
We are
nothing's
McLaren.
fun. And now,
We are
yeah,
McLaren.
and then Zach Brown bought them, and they're like, everything's bright orange, and we have the two most meme lord drivers.
And now RFK instead of Roush Fenway, RFK is like blah, and Roush
Yeah.
Fenway would have been like. I think
Yeah,
it's cool. I love
shockingly
it.
accurate.
They
I love
brought in
it.
a
It
lot of
makes it-
people.
I
Yeah.
like when someone can make something fun in racing, it makes the sport more fun. And I feel like the rebrand is like cool. It's like sleek. It's slick. The car that they unveiled, I don't know if it'll ever see the racetrack in that form, but it's cool looking. So
Yeah.
whatever. I think it's awesome. I dig it.
I'm down.
I like the rebrand. I think that probably goes without saying.
Make NASCAR fun again.
Yeah.
Please,
Yeah.
for the love of God.
I think their outlook's probably pretty good this year too. I
Mm.
think they'll do better than people think.
I agree with that actually.
Because Chris Buescher was kind of putting it on last year, kind of under the radar, doing better than I think the equipment was, and you're going to bring in Brad Keselowski, who has literally improved the equipment that he's been in everywhere. You think about Penske, where was Penske win or two a year between the two drivers, and Keselowski gets there, and first year there wins a couple of races, and obviously championship in 2012, consistently winning multiple races with and then Logano and Junior Motorsports really elevated that program down the Xfinity Series, Nationwide Series at the time. So, and of course he won for James Finch. So,
Yeah.
just saying,
Insane.
a guy that a lot of people said elevated their programs, and that remains to be seen. Matty D settles for a truck ride with Rackley War. What a fall from grace. We don't have to talk about it too much, but for a guy that said he wasn't going to accept anything outside of the Cup Series, taking a truck ride, good for him, because that should have been what he said in the first place.
Yeah.
But a guy that I think everyone really thinks shot themselves in the foot a lot, just for not necessarily for what he's been posting, because it's not that. It's just the mannerisms, the way about which he did it. It's what kind of a little bit problematic.
It's just the victim complex is what rubs a lot of people the wrong way. I will say, despite everything stupid that he says and does, like I still want him to succeed, because I'm not going to root for a driver to fail. Like, this is what he should have done a long time ago. Prove you can win in a truck or something. I mean, Josh Berry ran pretty well in the truck, so that's your bar. Josh Berry's somebody that everybody holds in really high regard. Got to run better than that. Win a race. Show people that you belong in a Cup ride, because last year was a disaster.
Yeah.
So.
Like it's his first year with the Wood Brothers. I thought it was quite okay.
It was really good.
I thought
Yeah.
it, like, seriously, like I will say it over and over again. Statistically, the best Wood Brothers season since like the 90s. But I was waiting for that to come back. And like he had some bad luck at the beginning of the season. I excused it and I was defending him. And over the course of the season, I just could not. Matthew, are you okay, sir?
No, he choked.
Oh, he's choking.
Just
you.
like
Wrong
Matty D
pipe.
at Talladega
Wrong pipe.
last year.
We're good. I'm muted for that.
He
Wrong
did, though.
pipe.
He did kind of choke that one away.
Ooh.
Yeah. But yeah, it just never happened for him. He just couldn't get it together, and then he was distracted by all this nonsense that he was doing at the end of the season. Whether, whatever, like, I'm not going to go into the details or the opinions of it. He was just distracted.
Mhm.
That's just straight up. He was just distracted by nonsense when he should have been focusing on his racing and his next ride. And it's clear he wasn't doing that. He was just, being a victim, which
Yep. More focused on his image rather than, finding a job.
exactly.
So,
Shout out to the rumors that Ford was going to pull him out of the car.
apparently that I believe it, honestly.
Oh, yeah, I do too. Especially with the way the Wood brothers really didn't post too much about him.
Yeah. Yeah, it sucks that like Matt has kind of cratered his relationship because he's unfortunately a very good representation of the people who live around here. So, because he's from Grass Valley, which is 10 minutes up the freeway from me. So
that's pretty good.
That's all I'll say about that.
Um,
It's shockingly accurate.
But yeah,
So.
I think that's what we've seen. Just a couple guys have really shot themselves in the foot.
Yeah.
So, you see my note there, but
who could the other guy be?
we're not going to talk about it because I don't like talking about that stuff.
Yeah.
Don't cower behind phrases. Is all I'm going to say.
We'll wait and see till February and see if they make it to the track.
I hope they do.
Yeah.
I hope things work out for that person in a healthy way.
Yeah.
Me too.
Whatever that means. Take it as you will and who you will.
Yeah. So yeah, this is, since we're at like 45 minutes or so into this show, I want to do one more thing. I want to get one bold prediction from you guys. We've really just seen testing. We haven't even seen the clash. I want a bold prediction about what we're going to see.
Are you gonna keep these or are you gonna write these down?
I mean, I'm not going to write them down, but it's going to be pretty easy to go back to the video and be like, all right, here's the bold
Yeah, but we're never gonna do that.
I will.
Fine.
So who wants to go first?
Let me think of one. Ooh.
I'll go first.
Okay.
Roush Fenway Keselowski Racing will get both cars in the playoffs.
I was when we were talking about Roush Fenway Keselowski earlier. That was literally the one because I saw the note when we were talking. I was like, oh, yeah, I think that, and I knew you were gonna say it. That's one of mine.
Nope, that's
Don't
mine.
let him. Nope, that's one of mine as well.
Nope, my head. Yeah, Keselowski I think can win a race on a super speedway, and Chris Buescher can probably likely follow. Also think their mile-and-a-half performance will be a little more indicative of Buescher's run at Homestead last year. Bring Matt McCall in too for Keselowski's crew chief is a big bump.
I am gonna say that Kyle Larson is the only Hendrick driver with a win.
Ooh, that's a bold one.
That's spicy. Can't wait for like William Byron to win the 500.
I was gonna say,
wait. William Byron's probably a good shout. I don't think Bowman's gonna get a win early with this car. I don't think it suits him at all.
You don't think Chase will win?
Chase has a good shot. I'm thinking like feel, right? Like I feel like Kyle Larson will adapt to the car very quickly because of who he is. Chase Elliott has sports car experience, which I think will translate a little bit, at least on the road courses.
Which is already really good at.
And William Byron is young enough to, I think, adapt also. Like he doesn't have as much of a baseline as the other guys because he's just so young.
Yeah.
So I think William Byron is the next best shot other than Kyle Larson, but I think Kyle Larson is the only Hendrick driver with a win by midseason.
As an Alex Bowman appreciator, last year will definitely be the outlier, not the standard, I think, for him and the 48 team. I could see them win or two a year, but 4 wins I think was probably hitting above their weight class, which isn't a bad thing. Because I think that's kind of what Hendrick wants that car to be in the first place. Yeah.
Plus, winning races like that is how you come to a spot where you can win a championship. Yep. You know, like days like that or what you
consistent.
Need.
Yeah. I look forward to you guys being wrong about that take.
I do too.
I'll throw in another one for you for a doozy because I think he's going to be so ill suited to that car. I don't think he wins a race next season.
Why do you stop trying to hurt me?
Ooh, Bowman?
I don't think he does.
You literally just said Larson would be the only Hendrick driver to win. So like
Larson by mid-season, you said for the first half of the NASCAR season.
Ah, shoot. That's right. I didn't say that when I read the question off.
First half.
Dang, so now because RFK has to win 2 races before.
Yeah, in the first half of the season. Nice one, bud. Good job.
They're bold predictions.
It could happen, though.
Here's my big prediction, because he's done it like 8 times. Justin Haley is going to stumble into. Oh God, my voice! No,
Justin Haley's gonna stumble.
God damn it!
He's gonna
stumble into victory.
My voice just stopped working midway through that take. My body is rejecting that take. It didn't want me to get it out. Justin Haley is going to fall into another super speedway win, but this time in the Cup Series again.
Yeah, again.
I forgot he already did that.
It would be really funny if he did. That'd
He's
be
a really
pretty
good super speedway
If
racer.
he is a
though.
Daytona 500 winner, I'm gonna
Oh,
poop my
dude,
pants.
the malding.
Oh my
I
god,
can't wait
there are
for the
some
malding.
USRL people who are going to be so
Do they
mad.
not like
Ugh,
Justin Haley?
I think
I
there's
can
one
think of
them that
one who
doesn't.
hates Justin Haley.
Who?
Isn't it-
Dan.
Isn't it Dan? Yeah.
Dan
yeah.
hates Justin Haley.
Why?
I want to call
Yeah.
him the best super speedway driver
He,
in NASCAR.
he statistically
bad.
was last year in the Xfinity Series. Like he has been. I don't.
He's hated Justin Haley since he was in trucks. So
Why exactly?
I don't know.
It's just
You'll have to ask him about
There-
that.
there-
Those are my favorite. Those are my favorite.
they're like I had a buddy that like hated Jamie McMurray because of a freaking video game. And he was literally got wrecked by Jamie McMurray in a video game.
Like not even like Jamie McMurray on iRacing, but just like an AI version of Jamie McMurray.
Like I'm saying, this hatred was developed at 5 years old.
That's awesome.
I know.
I've developed hatreds for drivers because they drove for RCR, and I don't like Richard Childress, and so like like Tyler Reddick, it was so hard for me to like Tyler Reddick. I was like, oh, damn, this sucks. I like him a lot, but God,
Hey, that's a
wrong
good
team.
that's a good fan question. So tweet us or comment below the video. What driver do you hate for a bad reason?
I'm trying to think if there's a driver that I hate for a really
Ah,
stupid
drivers
reason.
that I hate for bad reasons.
I don't know of any that I hate for bad reasons.
I hated Dale Jr. for a while because he was so popular, but I grew up. Thank goodness.
I don't, I don't like Harvick, and I don't like.
Yeah, you can dislike Harvick for good reasons.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I have a valid reason to not like Harvick.
I don't like Jeff Gordon, but I have a good reason for that too.
I don't like Jeff Gordon fans.
Well, doesn't one drive for you?
A Jeff Gordon fan?
Yeah,
Who?
Ryan.
Oh, yeah, I don't like Ryan.
He'll never hear this. I'll make sure I send him the link time stamped for that. Save this clip for when you wreck him later in the year in the USRL.
I will. We'll make a big like rivalry video.
Good. But that's gonna do it for episode 1, season 2, Fake Racers podcast. Again, folks, hopefully you found us over here on JTN2. We are so thankful that you're watching. I don't know if we're gonna do an episode next week. I don't know if we really need to do an episode next week.
Mm.
I know iRacing Rolex 24 is coming up, but give us some ideas for videos. We did like a Rolex video last year, and then we like put some different stuff in there, but I don't know if it's really gonna be worth it to do. I just wanted to get an episode out in January so you guys could start finding your way over to JTN2 for this, as well as getting it back out in your podcast feed so we don't fall too far down the list.
Woo! We're back, baby. It's
Remember-
good to be back. This was fun.
Yeah,
Mhm.
I missed it. I have a real microphone. Oh my god.
you're a podcaster now, Davey.
Yeah.
And Matt, remind him what are you gonna be doing over here on JTN2?
We're going to be having a new show coming out called Disqualified, which is starting out with F1, but it's basically bad F1 team story time, where me, Formula One historian, takes Davey and Tommy, who are both like fans of less than 10 years, through the dark depths of backfield teams from the 90s and 80s and whatever, and I get to tell them great stories of completely incompetent race teams. So
That's my favorite. I
I'm
love
excited.
those.
first episode's going to be on Coloni F1, so we'll keep it kind of tame, and then we'll get into the truly stupid stuff after that.
You know what's insane? I never even heard of that. I'm very excited. Also, not really on schedule like Matt's thing. I'm gonna be trying to stream. I need to get some more USB fans for my computer so it doesn't catch on fire. But I'm gonna try and stream the iRacing 24 hour. It's gonna be me, Tommy Bordeaux, the aforementioned Tommy Bordeaux, some USRL drivers that you're probably familiar with: Darren Ingram, Noah Joyce, Antonio Ruiz, and Steven Merzlak.
Are you guys
gonna
all
be
driving one car, or
All driving one car, all one team.
Nice.
Yep. We're gonna be driving the Porsche, and I don't know what time we're doing it. We still have to work it out. We still got to work out stints and stuff. But I'm gonna try and stream all 24 hours of it, whether it be on my Twitch or whether it be on the JTN streaming platforms, JTN2. I don't know. We'll figure it out. I know Joe probably doesn't want my activate Windows on his JTN stuff, so maybe I'll do Twitch, and then Joe can I don't know. I'll figure it out. But point is, I'm
stream your
thinking of doing
stream. Just
Yeah,
with the
stream
little
my
activate
stream.
Windows cut out.
Yeah, exactly. We'll activate Windows and then a Twitch play bar at the bottom. No big deal. But yeah, I plan on doing that. I got to get some fans and stuff to make sure my computer doesn't catch on fire. But that'll be a lot of fun. I don't know where we're going to be racing and what Discord, but maybe we'll have some people pop in and out throughout the day. Maybe Joe will make an appearance. I'm going to try and have it open so people can come in and talk and not make it so boring. Anyway, that is on the dock, and I just got to figure out the logistics of it.
Sounds good.
Matt's also got oof sides going on. I joined for an
Woo!
episode. That was fun.
It was a really good episode.
They've been struggling, so go give them some love.
Oofsides is cool. I don't like football, and I listen. Or
They need some
I tried
motivation
listen,
to record
but-
episodes, I think.
Did you-
Is that correct?
We've all been super tight on time
Yeah,
recently
yeah.
because we had
Motivation.
Christmas and New Year's, and then I was busy like all of last week, and then we would have recorded on Tuesday, but I depression napped as soon as I got home, so that was fun. So we got to figure out when we're gonna record this next episode.
Dude, I watched. I don't want to drag it on, but I watched football
Did you?
last Sunday.
You watched the clown game.
I watched 3 games. I watched the clown game,
Yes.
and then I
was gonna
watched
ask if you watched
watched the Ravens game, and then I watched the game that was ridiculous that night. That ended
the
at, like,
Raiders
1-1.
Chargers
The Raiders Chargers game
that almost ended in a tie.
That was insane. I love football. I just can't. I can't keep up with it. I have too many freaking sports that I already
Yeah.
keep up with.
I
But,
like that you
was
picked
fun.
the 3 games that all tied together because the Raiders
Dude,
game
it
only
was
mattered.
like I was watching a TV show, dude.
Yeah. The Raiders only matter, or the
was
Ravens Steelers game only mattered because the Colts lost, and then the Steelers' fate was rested in the fact that the Raiders and Chargers couldn't tie.
Dude, it was like I was watching some crazy wacko TV show.
That was the
So good.
dumbest comeback that the Chargers pulled off. It made
It was
no sense.
infuriating to watch as like
It
a
was-
Raiders fan.
It was
Frustrating, and
like,
I don't
You're
even
like a fan
care.
of every team, Matt. Shut up.
But the Raiders have always been like my number 3 because they're local. They were local. They're not anymore.
Like
Always
I
been my
don't
number
care, and I was
3.
frustrated. Like I could not believe what I was watching. I have no dog in any fight, and I was like,
Oh yeah,
"What is happening?"
made no sense.
was awesome.
Let's get to 4th down and 10-yard completion for 1st down. Like
There was a stat about that where it was that drive took up 20 minutes of real time, but only a minute of game time.
made no sense.
So.
Made
Oh
no
my
sense.
gosh, my food's here.
Oh,
Call
no.
the end of the podcast. I'll come. Wait, how about this? You guys do the end of it, and Matt will do his social media stuff, and I'll come back just in time to
Okay.
do mine.
All right.
Okay.
Well, folks, we can't thank you enough for joining us on this week's episode of the Fake Racers podcast. As always, make sure you hit the like button and subscribe again. We're on JTN2. You can head on over to JTN1 for all the live racing content. We had the AlphaTauri Cup Series season opener last week. Matt made a dumb move and wrecked the field. Matt,
That is just a blatant lie.
it's also on our TikTok. I posted it, so be the judge for yourself. Mikey did a good job driving through.
How
the
did I-
mess? Anyways, Matt, why don't you take us through your socials?
What mess.
The one you made, but I
wrecked
saw
on
it.
the last lap. This is
Nah, you did that.
Hey, I didn't say anything on stream. I can say stuff here. Go ahead.
this is ridiculous. This is a literal. This is
You know how many
literally
times-
slander.
You know how many times I
This is a
bit
coup.
my tongue because I didn't want to make anyone sad because I have to worry about that.
I
can
was
say whatever
trying to
you want
figure out
about
when
me.
I wrecked somebody. I
whatever
got
you want
into
about
Henrietta towards the end, but it was a 1-car incident.
No, it was like 4 of my guys just
I was running like 21st. How did I wreck 4 people behind me?
they piled in. It wasn't your fault that they wrecked because they were kind of dumb for wrecking. Again,
Well, that's why
Go
they
to our
should use their friggin' brake pedals.
go to our TikTok. I
No.
cut out the video of Mikey driving through the wreck. You can literally see you going for the middle lane despite not being able to go anywhere, and then you just run right into Henrietta.
All right. So for clarification, because I said this over voice, Henrietta was leaving that gap open every time. And so I was like, all right, I'm going to go for this gap and see if I can make a move up the middle. And it just so happened to be the one time she came down.
At Davey Has You can find me on Instagram at D7H5. You can find me on Twitch at D7H5 with an ER at the end. Make sure you follow JTN and JTN2.
And Fake Racers
Podcast on Twitter. Make sure you follow JTN on Twitter. Make sure you follow Joe Towanski because he is a man of the people. Matt, your socials.
Sorry, I'm still just mad about this blatant assassination of my character.
Don't care, socials.
Follow me on Twitter, where I'm sure this argument will continue, at msteelman51. You can also...
oh my god, you're right.
Actually,
I can't taste the lettuce.
You can see me post every Thursday that it's Sheldon Creed Thursday, which we are recording this on a Sheldon Creed Thursday, I might add. You can also find me on YouTube. Dale Jr. 88 rocks with an X because it's 2008 and I'm 13 years old.
Oh, yeah.
I think that's it, actually.
With all that being said, folks, can't thank you enough again for migrating your way over to JTN2 to watch this week's episode of the Fake Racers Podcast. Stay tuned to the Fake Racers Podcast Twitter as well as JTN Twitter to find out if we're going to be recording an episode next week. I lean towards we won't, but we will see. Can't thank you enough as always. And we will see you guys next time right here on, not JTN, JTN2 on the Fake Racers Podcast. Thank you for watching.
It was fun, guys. Thank you very much.
Oh, and thanks for listening.
Goodbye.
Podcast people. We appreciate you too. We know you're out there listening with your ears.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Bye, guys.